Politics, they say, a game of the politics, it's often said, is a game of the unknown, a game that you could start and think you are doing well and then end up not knowing what has happened. It's a game which many people play all through history, thinking that they have got everything under control, and they end sometimes and most times contrary to their expectations. This appears to be the fate of the several governors of the People's Democratic Party who have decamped into the All Progressive Congress led by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As at the last count, not just the PDP governors, but also the governor of Kano State, also said to be a son-in-law to Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, decided to decamp into the All Progressive Congress. Initially, it was thought that his godfather will follow him into the party. Unfortunately, the godfather came up to say that he was not going to follow him and declared the day in which the governor decamped into the APC as a day of betrayal, signaling that he, the Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, will fight the governor. And it is almost guaranteed that if he does fight the governor may not be elected for a second term. But that is if the governor gets the ticket of the All Progressive Congress to contest the election as governor.
Babu wanda ya dauki hankali na kamar wani wanda ya posting yake cewa a yi declaring 23 ga watan na kowace shekara a matsayin butulci na duniya ga baki. Saboda haka a matsayina na shugaba na wannan tafiya jagora, wasu ba su ce ba dubu. Nake cewa ina goyon bayan wannan na tsayar da wannan rana 23 ga watan ɗaya. Mutunci ta duniya da baki daya, wanda duk wanda rana ta zo za mu yi tsare-tsare da yi bukunkuna na wannan rana domin waɗanda abin ya shafa da kuma waɗanda ma ba mamaki nan gaba su yi abin da yake mutunci ya kamata duniya ta san su.
The last few weeks, the embattled governor of Rivers State as well decamped into the All Progressive Congress, APC, and that signaled another round of battle between him and his godfather, the FCT minister, who took the governor into his wings when the governor was said to be only 24 years old as a staff when he was chairman of the local government in Rivers State. However, by some strange coincidence, it's really not strange, the APC is now saying that all the governors that have decamped are not guaranteed any automatic ticket as governorship candidates in the 2027 elections. You will recall that when some of the governors started decamping into the APC, the refrain among the people close to them was that they had it on authority that the next election, that is the 2027 elections, will not be a free and fair elections, that the results of the elections will be written in Abuja. And so if they wanted to retain their seats, they needed to decamp into the All Progressive Congress. And as at the last count, in the South, which has traditionally been led by the People's Democratic Party until Adams Oshomole won election in Edo State and took it from the PDP, had been ruled by the PDP. And then Cross River State bolted out of the PDP, and 4 states remained with the PDP. That is Delta, Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom. As at today, the governors of Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Delta, and River State have decamped into the APC, joining Edo and Cross River State. And so there is no PDP governor in the South. In the Southeast as well, which had traditionally rebuffed the APC until Hope Uzodinma won election that he won courtesy of the Supreme Court that declared him winner in spite of the fact that he came fourth in the elections. Now, of the 5 states in the Southeast, only 1 state, that is Abia State, ruled by the Labour Party, is not yet an APC state. Not long ago, the governor of Plateau State also decamped from the PDP to the APC. And today, in the North Central as well, there is no longer a PDP governor. The PDP governors that remain are those of Oyo State, Sheyi Makin, and Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State in the Northwest. And of course, the Northeast, we still have Governor Amadou Fintri and Governor Bala Mohammed. It is clear now that the governors that have decamped may not actually get what they think they are going to get. Apart from the fact that it is not yet clear whether they moved with their people or moved against the will of their people. Strange noises, so to say, are coming out of the APC, namely that these governors will not get automatic ticket. And if these governors will not get automatic ticket, if they are going to primaries, it is not clear whether all of them will win the primaries. But what has happened that is very clear now is all the governors that have decamped have surrendered their faith into the hands of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decides that any of the governors that has decamped will not get the APC ticket to run for elections, it means that the governor will have lost out, will not have any chance to compete in another party, because by that time, it will be too late for them to jump ship. And more fundamentally, there might not be any viable political party for them to run in. The mistake that these governors made in decamping to the APC is that they surrendered by decamping to APC. The only weapon they had that they would have used to negotiate, even if the elections were planned to be rigged. What do I mean? With no viable political party available for them, their fate is in the hands of Tinubu. And of course, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will strike a balance between his new supporters, that is the governors, and those people who had been in the party and have supported the party up to this point. It is unlikely that he's going to choose his new friends all above the old friends and supporters that he has had. So we are likely going to have some casualties. The governors that moved may have made a terrible mistake. And the mistake is very obvious to see. Power respects power. It does not respect weakness. Negotiations are done with people that are strong, not with people that are weak, because the strong dictate the terms that will need to be accepted. And in this case, if the PDP were still strong, a viable political party, these governors would have had something to stand on to negotiate. But now they've thrown away the only source of the negotiations that they would have had. And the mistake they did make in moving wholesale into the APC is that they ignored the fact that the 5 governors who worked against the ambition of Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who were successful in doing that because they had platforms which they used to sabotage the electoral chances of the PDP. Now, having decamped, they have lost this platform. And in any case, let's take this analogy. If you are a landlord, you have a small house with a leaking roof. And then there's a big man with a very big house, very powerful house, where he has a lot of people sitting with him. When you decide of your volition to demolish your house or have quarrels with your wife and relations to the extent that you cannot live together, you destroy the house and you move into the bigger man's house because it is more comfortable and because the roof is not leaking. What will simply happen is that you are no longer a landlord. You are just one of the people taking refuge in his house. And you cannot go into that new house claiming that you are a landlord, you are the owner of a house, because your house does not exist. And the person will no longer relate to you as the owner of a house. He will relate to you as one of those taking refuge in his house. And that is not good news for the governors who have decamped. Well, we are yet to see how the court cases, the numerous court cases on the PDP will go. But the egos that have been bruised, the feelings of treachery that arose within the party and the party members, it will also be difficult at this point to know whether if the court case goes one way or the other, party members will agree to come and sit together to discuss. I want you to think about what I've just said. Do you think that these governors that have decamped have made a wise? My name is Rimamnde Shawulu. This is The Other Side.